Hello everyone. I was wandering through the map of APRS.5 and I've been asked a few times to do a video about some installation process of the iGates, Digipeaters and trackers. So this is the video where I'll be explaining everything, and this video will be aimed to show how the installation works and how the configuration should be done, and explain a few new ways to work with the Digipeaters to use less current. But before we continue with the installation process, I wanted to show you all the map in a few places. And we can see Mexico. Then we jump into Europe, where it all started. As you can see, there are many stations here. There you can see UK, also the Netherlands, France, also Spain. Now we have Italy and a few more countries. Also Poland and Germany and in other countries. But I also wanted to show you a few numbers about the stations with my firmware. It has increased a lot in the last year, almost 2.5 times. We have more than 3,000 iGates and 2,000 trackers, and I'm really happy about this. When we started, the only way to install the firmware was using VS Code, and it was a hassle for the non-savvy, so we have to modify it, and we started with a web installer like from Meshtastic and other apps. Now it's really easy to flash any board, and we have many boards to choose, so we are welcoming everyone to join. As you can see, there are new boards available. So we are starting with the flashing process to flash the iGate, and remember to use always Google Chrome, as other web browsers don't support this. We select the current board we're using. I'm using Heltec Wireless Stick and the last version. Then after it is connected to the PC, we select the port. We push it and we choose to erase the device if it was with another firmware. And now we started, and with the magic of edition, we speed up the process. It will last just a few minutes. So after the flashing process finished, the board will start, and we should find it on the available Wi-Fi's as the no-call 10 IP. There is also a way to check if the board has restarted as it should, and we enter again into the log console of the web flasher web page, and it shows that the Wi-Fi IP has started. So we return, search for available Wi-Fi, no call 10 IP, and we wait for the connection. Then we write the current IP address. I have saved it before because I use it a lot. So now we start with the configuration process. We enter our call sign, we choose the path and latitude and longitude for our station. Remember to use degrees for the position. You can get this information from Google Maps, and you can choose the symbol for reflecting the station you will use. Then you should, after that, for your Wi-Fi, enter your SSID and your password. With more edition magic, I entered my Wi-Fi information, and you should enable the connection to the servers, and I recommend you to gate messages to radio to be a full receiver and transmitter iGate. You should enter also your valid passcode. Also remember to choose the right filter you want to use. On the beaconing part, you have to choose if you want to send your beacon through radio or through internet, and also change the interval. I recommend the 15 minutes. It's a good place to start, and also choose if you have the board with GPS, so you can enable a moving iGate if you need it. The blacklist is for you to add any station you want to avoid processing, uploading, or listening. Then on the Digipeater, we won't change anything for the moment, unless you want to repeat packets with an iGate, which is not common. On the LoRa configuration, we should enable LoRa transmissions only if we have a valid call sign and license to use it as radio amateurs. We choose the right frequency, and maybe we can choose also display if the board has one. On the battery, we should enable if we have an internal battery or an external battery monitor. We can also send the voltages as telemetry, and enable also a sleeping process to protect the battery. We can enable also weather telemetry, and also with the help of Matt, we have now a free syslog. You can use the board also as a TNC. On the Wiki, we have all the information for each app configuration to use it, and it's working fine. Then we should configure the reboot time if we want to force the board to reboot, and if something happens, there we can change the password, and all the information for this is on the Wiki. Also the time the Wi-Fi IP waits for us before rebooting. We also have a password and username for the OTA updates. You can choose also to have authentications for admin and password to avoid anyone to change your data here, and have a remote management valid call sign that it only can change these values over radio. NTP server time correction should be changed also for valid time in the received packets window. Then we press save, the board will reboot, and we'll start with the connection. I return to the main flashing page and open the log to see, after pressing reset to the board, what it's doing. And it shows that it's connecting to the Wi-Fi and the IP it gets, and it sends the beacon, so everything works fine. Then we can see on APRS.phi that the beacon has been sent correctly. And then we connect to the IP we have from before and enter to the web configuration of the station or the board. So we can change it later or make some mods as you wish. With this web UI, we can update through OTA, we can download or restore the configurations with a JSON file, reboot it, and also show the received packets of the station. So this finished the configuration and flashing process of the iGate, and the station will work and upload all the packets it listened and transmit to radio the messages for the trackers. And now we start with the Digipeater version of the same board. We will return to the same IP where the iGate was, and we start modifying the configuration to start as a Digipeater. So first we want to change the symbol. The red one usually is for transmission and reception, the blue for sending weather packets, the green star for Digipeaters, and the black usually is for only reception iGates. So we choose the green star. This personal node will only be inside the configuration and not be transmitted. We don't disable Wi-Fi connection for now, but we disable the connection to the servers. Then we go into the beaconing configuration. We disable sending the beacon over internet, and we only send it through radio as a Digipeater. So now it's time to select the mode of the Digipeater, where we can choose for fill-in white 1 or a white 2 plus white 1 Digipeater for long distances. And after this, we should reboot the board. So now the board reboot and will send the beacon. So we should be able to see this in the web page. And there it is. So all is working fine. So with this, we have finished the configuration of the Digipeater, and it will repeat packets with the correct path. So now we jump into the new things added as the version 3.0. On previous versions, we had two modes for the Digipeater. We have one with Wi-Fi IP that uses a lot of current, and another one with really low CPU frequency, which was really good but not enough. So we changed it, and now we have three new modes for the Digipeater. The first one is the same as the old one, which will be the Digipeater with Wi-Fi IP. It uses more current, but will enable you to complete or continue with configuration process with the Wi-Fi web configuration page. And also you have a serial output to use with TNC. The third one is the same as the first one, but without the Wi-Fi IP, but you can keep the serial output for TNC. This will use a lot of current less than the first one. And this is the last mode, which is new for the version 3.0, the Ultra Echo mode. This makes the board sleep, but keep the LoRa module still listening, so it will wake the board when a packet is received, and it will retransmit it, and then go back to sleep. With this new mode, the board will use barely 7 milliamps, which is just a tenth of the normal mode without Wi-Fi IP. So these are the new modes of the Digipeater, and now I can show you a few links of the wiki where you will find all the needed information for the details in the configuration webpage. On the right menu, you can find how to connect the weather sensors, how to access the queries, and also how to configure the TNC on each app. If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank everyone for putting up with my poor English. Many have helped so far, so with tests and ideas, and more updates will come soon. I'll separate the video by topic for future references, and I'll include links for the web installer and the wiki, and also some affiliate links in the video description to help me get new boards to add to the firmware as they're being released. So I'll see you soon. I'll be back with the tracker new firmware with many updates, and let's hope to see us again. 7.3.